Hey everybody, and welcome back to Planet Build. So today we're going to finish the boat and monorail station, and we're going to work on a new habitat for the jungle tour. So first of all, thank you again for tuning in at Planet Build. And I did realize this is video 19 of Moderno Tropicano, and I'm not quite sure if the jungle section will be the last section. I'm probably going to add a small section in the park with some shops and some restaurants, but I think this will be the last major area for Moderno Tropicano before we start finishing this whole park. But for now it's time to just start working on the monorail and the boat station for the jungle boat tour, and also for the monorail on top of it. And as you can see in the last video, I already started working on the front side of this double station, and now it is time to just finish the back side of this station. And it was quite difficult to get all those pieces right because this station had two levels, the first one for the boat ride and the second one for the monorail. So I had to put in two levels with a lot of detail, not just to make it look realistic as possible. So that is why I first did the front side of the station, and then start working on the lower section and then the second level section. And I'm trying to just finish off the outside of the building before I start working on the inside and going to create a little bit more detail on the inside of the monorail station. And the thing with this building is that the jungle boat does see the backside of this building, so I had to put in a detail in the backside as well. The only thing in the end that didn't have any detail was the rooftop, but that's something no one's going to see that, so that's no problem. And the thing I like most about this building is the brown golden color in those windows, in the frame of those windows. And I think it suits very well with those Indonesian walls and those green concrete walls. And yeah, I think it blends in nicely with the surroundings of the jungle. So as I said before, the jungle boat tour also sees the backside of this building, and therefore I had to put in more detail on this side of the building. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put in a lot of rocks, and then after that I'm going to add a lot of foliage and some trees. And I do really like the window on this backside that people can see through, and they actually can see level 1 and level 2 of this station. and also if you're on the inside, so if you're boarding the boat tour or the monorail, you can also see what's going on outside, and maybe you can get a glimpse of the Jungle Boat tour actually riding. So for the foliage, I do like those palm trees, those small palm trees that come with the Oceania pack, and I do believe they fit perfectly in the jungle theme, and they also do cover up a lot of space, so you can use them many times just to cover up a big section that you want to cover up, not with rocks but just with foliage. So once the outside of the building is finished, it is time to put in a little bit more detail on the monorail station. And I'm just going to add some detail to the walls and add a little bit of scenery to the sections where the people cannot walk. And I'm also going to add in a small stand where people can get some coffee and have a seat before the monorail arrives. And once that is finished, we're going to start working on the second habitat for the Jungle Boat tour. And that will include some Indian elephants and some monkeys, which both fit in one habitat. But first, we're going to finish up this building. So before we're going to start working on the habitat for those elephants and monkeys, I just want to mention something, and that is I do build some things offline. Mostly when I'm finished building things and recording that for you guys, I just review the building, and if something is not quite like I wanted it to be, I'm just going to adjust some small things. So maybe the end product that I'm making is a little bit different than the things you see in the video. And also one thing that helps me is, of course, the Steam workshop, where people just make amazing things. And I'm not downloading a lot of things on the Steam workshop because I mostly want to create them myself. But in this case, the temple over here is downloaded on the Steam workshop. Why should I just make a temple myself, which will probably look the same as this one? So it saves me a lot of time just by using the Steam workshop and use it in this park. So credits to all the people who actually download those things and upload those things, and it is just an amazing platform which everybody can show their creativity. So I use that temple in this habitat for the elephants and the monkeys. The monkeys can actually get on top of that temple, and the elephants can also swim across the water into the other section of this habitat. The only thing I was struggling with in the beginning is that I usually put in the the toys and the things the animals like after I put in the trees and the planters and stuff like that. But I learned that it is better to turn it around and just first put in the toys and all the things those animals like, and afterwards just cover it up with foliage and grass and stuff like that. And the thing with the coverage of this whole jungle section was that the darkest type of terrain I could use was the dirt, and that is the brown terrain color you see over here. So I need that grass work just to cover up all the sections in this jungle area. So that sometimes gives a little bit of problems with placing the elements for those animals. And it is almost time to wrap up this habitat, and I'm just placing in those final things that I want in this habitat. And I do want to mention that I did some offline work for this habitat because the animals, and mostly the elephants, did not have enough shelter. So I had to put in some more shelter across the water for this habitat. There's also the section of this habitat where the elephants can also go. So I did that offline, but that is something you will see in the highlights. Yeah, and I'm actually kind of happy with this habitat, and I think it adds another great section to the Jungle Boat Tour, and can't wait to show you guys the Jungle Boat Tour, but also when this whole section of this whole jungle area is finished, to show off the Wool Zoo Tour, and that is something I'm kind of excited about. So I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.